Good afternoon. Welcome to the January 26th meeting of the Rotary Club of Milledgeville. Would Frank Ball please come and be our Rotarian of the day?
Let's pray. Father, Creator, accept our thanks for this day and our many and abundant blessings. We ask for your hand of blessing on this club, those who have joined us for fellowship and service. We ask that you continue to protect and sustain all our citizens, especially those serving abroad who may be in harm's way. God bless this food for our use and us to your service. Amen. Amen. Please join me in
Whoops.
pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For all things we thank Savior to. First is the truth. Second
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And fifth, is it fun? Thank you, Frank. As you sit down, please silence your cell phones and dump your spare change in the bucket, please. Greg, are we ready with guests and raffle?
I am.
Fantastic.
I remember my glasses this time, if I can remember myself. We have one guest of Lynn. You want to introduce her, Lynn? Okay, I'm going to have Kimber draw the winning ticket. Thank you. 063, ending in 063. All right. Queen of Hearts, we're looking for the Queen of Hearts. And we got the Two of Hearts.
Ah, getting closer. Right. Nice. Cool. All right. I don't see William, but do we have any prayer requests? No? Always good news. All right. Any community announcements? I'll put it under community announcements, although it's our program for next week. Next week, we'll be recognizing star students. So we're going to have a full room next week. It's us, Exchange Club, Kiwanis Club, and the Chamber of Commerce. So we're expecting a crowd of about 100. There is a tie this year at Baldwin High School. There are 2 star students. So there's going to be a lot of people here next week. So please put your best foot forward next week as we host everyone here for that. All right. All right. Club business. I'm going to turn it over to Aaron for a second.
Guess what I'm talking about?
I don't know. You don't really do much in the club, so you know.
Any cookies? That would be a good one.
No,
Raffle.
yeah.
Let's talk about raffle. Okay, so I promised prizes for top salespeople in the raffle. And I think these people definitely deserve prizes. If you'll help me out by grabbing one of those prizes. But can I have Keith and Bobby come to the front?
They're both still eating.
Sorry about that, guys. No, that's a come on.
Oh, come on.
You gotta come over here. Come over here.
Sorry.
Stand together. I like you like each other.
We both together. I mean, what else?
I don't kill each other every week, so that's a start.
Gentlemen have been very instrumental in our Rotary raffle for how many years?
12 at least.
I know, maybe.
Yes, too many to count.
55 years. Only started when we were 14, 15.
7, 8, 7, 8, 9 years, something like that. So, that is one of the reasons that we do have a pot of money so that we can do something very meaningful in our community. And I think we're going to talk about that later today. But give them a round of applause. So this year, our profit, the raffle that we get to help the community with, $29,000. So that's huge. That's why we push so hard on this raffle every year, because it's a great way to make a big impact in one project. And so we're gonna really plan out what we're gonna do with that money next year. And then we're also talking about a big project as well, correct? So because we have been saving for that, that's why the raffle was started. So Keith Barlow is our top salesperson. Does that surprise anybody?
No.
So Keith, would you like to get your prize?
Sure.
I've heard you might want one of these.
Yeah,
I think
well,
you'll
thank
be
you.
happy with that and
Yeah.
enjoy that.
That's awesome. Thank you.
So that's provided you through us. And then Jennifer has a prize for Bobby, who was the second top salesperson.
Picked them out just for you.
Oh, yours up. Wow, thank you.
Jelly of the month.
So you can just tell us.
Those are Rotary cufflinks that I picked out just for him.
That's cool. Good.
And then I want to recognize two more people. Michelle, Joy, will y'all stand? So these two ladies, both of them fairly new in the club, so over 40 tickets each. So they both have obtained the Paul Harris Fellow. So at some point in the future, we'll recognize them with their pins as Paul Harris Fellow. So congratulations to you too. And then we got quite a number of people who sold their 10 tickets in the first week, so they will be getting a Rotary polo. Those are still being decorated, but when we get those in, we'll bring them in. And then we have our Rotary t-shirts in the back, and we have our list. So after the meeting, if you order the t-shirt, come pick it up from us. And if you're going to the check presentation tomorrow, we're doing a check presentation to the police department. Wear your shirt, and then it'll be a good photo opportunity. So anyway, thank you everybody so much for helping with the raffle, and thank y'all too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. As Aaron mentioned, tomorrow at noon, we will be at the Milledgeville Police Department doing our check presentation of our donation of $2,500 to them. If you can be there, that would be fantastic. If you can come and wear your t-shirt, even better. So we'll look forward to seeing you there at noon. Sharp. Okay, check presentation. Jan has an update for us on Rotaract. So there you are. I'm sorry, Interact. One of these days. I'll get it right one of these days. Interact.
We are taking Valentine's, St. Patrick's Valentine's cards to all the residents of communities on Valentine's Day. And hopefully we'll get a photo to there. On 17th is the National Random Act of Kindness Day. And as Kevin mentioned at the last week, we have a district initiative for the Youth Grass Club to do a random act of kindness on that day during the project. So our club is going to ballroom Interact Club with the help of the Rotary Club. I'm going to make hygiene bags for the homeless and disadvantaged, and they will be distributed to the overview corporations that we live downtown Park Street. What they are asking for are 100 to 200 bags, which are a lot. And we plan on putting in toothbrushes, toothpaste, travel size, talking about the toothbrush, toothpaste, the deodorant, comb, the little Kleenex that you can put up in the pocket, small Kleenex, crackers, the lamps or whatever the other brands of cheap peanut butter crackers, and that's it. If anyone wants to contribute, we got some toothbrushes lying around. I know I'm getting me a little bad. Every time I go and I use an electric toothbrush, I'm not using it. Any of you want to contribute any of that, or you have some laying around the house, please bring them in and the next, maybe the next meeting. Because we're gonna end up buying a lot of stuff. And we hope we can get at least under that. The international project, the water project we wanted to do is following, there's too many complications in Nigeria at this point. So what we would like to do is to tag on to a project that's already a global plan. And Council Governor, Pastor Governor, and Global District Global Grant Chair is helping us out with that. We are going to be doing a disease and treatment prevention global grant, and it'll be to supply medical equipment and to teach medical, simple first aid medical type procedures to teachers at a school for disadvantaged young people in Bulgaria. So we'll be doing that, and in order to raise money for that, we're having a St. Patrick's Day bake sale the Saturday before St. Patrick's Day. Hopefully it'll be the Walmart or Kroger, where we get a lot of people. So if any of you want to bake anything for that, I'll be happy to take your contributions. It doesn't have to be green. You know, just because St. Patrick's Day, we just thought that would be a kind of cool theme that kept going, and for people. So,
Jan, where will the bake sale be held?
either Walmart or Kroger.
Okay,
You know, we just
like out
decided
front.
last night,
Okay.
I had a neighbor.
Right.
Manager at Walmart, I can get a few
Sure.
out of that.
And that's the 11th, I think. Is that the Saturday before?
It's 11.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're trying for that, and I'll update you as we go along.
Cool. Thank you, Jan. All right. And then other club business, don't forget, district conference is coming up, and the board has decided to pay for registrations for 3 non-board members. So if you're interested in district conference, see Aaron or myself about that.
We have one spot left.
Oh, we have 1 spot left. There you go. Get on it. All right. Okay, well, with that, I'm gonna turn it over to Tamara to introduce our speaker.
Good afternoon, everyone. I came by earlier before lunch and put out some literature on your tables for today's guest speaker about Milledgeville Cares. She has worked in the community for many, many years in the service space. She's helped the other nonprofits promote their brands and get their message out for what is needed to help others in Milledgeville County. I actually first heard of her when my husband and I moved back here 20 or so odd years. I wanted to do something and I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so I was Googling service projects, and Milledgeville Cares was one of the very first things that I saw. And on their page was just this list of every single nonprofit that were helping people. So she's been here working on this for many, many years and has done a lot of great things. But please welcome Miss Louise Sahlstrom.
Thank you for having us, and I will introduce John Cooper. He's been there with me from the beginning. He's my neighbor, and you all probably know John Cooper. He's been here a long time doing lots of good things. I want to start out by saying something. I gave John a book for Christmas. It was by John Meacham, won a Pulitzer Prize. Has anybody here read that book, Abraham Lincoln? after the light or about the light, whatever. I didn't write the whole thing, but it's a book about Abraham Lincoln that's come into a lot of good, respectful. See, this is a senior moment. Good things have been said about this book, and it's a kind of a different. It's not really. It's a non-fiction book, but it's kind of a different take on what Abraham Lincoln has done. Abraham Lincoln is one of my favorites because I was born on his birthday. And I want to start out by saying that on February 2nd, 1865, actually it was February 12th, Abraham Lincoln's 56th birthday, there was a man that was invited to come to speak to the House of Representatives. This was a Black man, somebody who was on the House of Representatives, chaplain of the House, wanted to encourage people who had not had a voice before to have a voice. So he invited a woman to speak. And he also invited Reverend Henry Highland Garnet. He was a Black person. He had escaped slavery in Maryland, and now he was the pastor of the 15th Presbyterian Church in Washington, D.C. And he was the first man Black person to ever address any branches of Congress. This is in 1865. Reverend Garnet told the whole story, according to this, of the America's transformation during the war from his standpoint. The words were stinging, but it was plain truth from the lips of a slave-born Negro. The House chaplain at the time thought that a Black minister should come and demonstrate that one central principle of war was to prove that in Christ, all people are free. All are God's children. So he began by proclaiming, "Great God, I would as soon attempt to enslave Gabriel or Michael as to enslave a man made in the image of God and for whom Christ died." Then he quoted 10 political figures. All of these were well-respected, well-known, biblical people, philosophers from all over the world. And all of them, who were highly respected, spoke about the evils of slavery. Garnet saw abolition as essential to democracy and the safety and perpetuity of the republic. And I want to say this, 158 years later, we still are struggling with the same issues. I see it every day. Some progress has been made, but our citizens in our community, our neighbors, deserve adequate housing, and many do not have it. They deserve equitable health care, and many do not have it and cannot get it. They deserve to have food, clothing, and everything else that people in a decent society have at their fingertips, and that's not available to them, especially transportation either. I believe that God requires the disciples to help these people for his kingdom to come on earth. And Milledgeville Cares can be a catalyst for this change because we love everybody that comes to us. We love this community as well. It's important to always remember character is what you do when no one else is watching. And it's also important to remember that justice is what love looks like in public. Our volunteers don't seek recognition or accolades. We do very little publicity about what we do. Without exception, we appreciate the opportunity to love our clients unconditionally and help as we can without a lot of fanfare or publicity. We've done this for 18 years now, and we pray that we can continue in the future. Sorry, that's my phone. It might go off about 10 times, but anyway, I forgot to turn it off. John, if you can get it out of there and turn it off, I appreciate it. As was noted in the introduction and in the Bible, we have major problems in our society that need immediate attention. These problems are facing the citizens of our nation in 1865, and they look eerily similar to what our problems are today. We must have just laws with equality for all, and the consequences for breaking those laws must be equitable as well. It's one thing to have the law to be equal, but the consequences, what you look like and who you are, those need to be equitable as well. We cannot let rebellious populations, this is what he was saying back then, we cannot let rebellious populations overwhelm our communities and maintain power over the powerless. And I would also add those that are too silent to speak up. Milledgeville Cares volunteers truly care about our clients. We become really friends. Contrary to what many may think, many of our clients are single moms struggling every single day to provide for their families. A few of those we help may have addiction issues. Everybody thinks I'm out there helping a big population of drug addicted people. It's not that. It's people who are elderly and they've lost income because, as you and I know, when you get up in age, you get the stove goes out, then you've got to do something about the water line, or you've got to, everything happens at one time and they don't have any money, or their health goes down. Right when I started at the beginning, I had a little lady come in and she was all kinds of heart problems. And I said, how did you lose your money? She said, I've been trying to pay the doctors. I can't pay the doctor bill. I said, well, are you getting Medicare? She said, I don't know. What is that? She didn't even know how to get Medicare. Our people do not know how to search. They don't know what's out there for them. They don't know how to use the computers and things like that. Thank goodness for Gina Towner, who's at the library, because she took up the gauntlet and she said, send them to me. I'll help them. I do. A few of those have, oh, I say right there. We listen carefully to the stories. That's one thing that is really key. We listen carefully. We learn to know what is going on. We have a little questionnaire that we made out, and it tells you everything going on in that family, from rats and mice to grandparents that are abusing somebody or something like that. It's very comprehensive. We listen to them, and then we help them little by little to know some places to go and have some things to think about, and give them handouts of things they can do. And that helps them have a happier and more satisfying life. They have stressors, I'll tell you, you wouldn't believe the stressors they have. Okay, so I now say, please consider partnering with us to make this small piece of God's kingdom one where everyone has adequate housing, equitable health care, enough to eat, a variety of clothes, shoes to wear, and enough money for a car or some form of transportation so they can get to work. There's so many people that want to work and cannot get to work. People in our community need to live like nations, like our nation should be, a first world nation instead of a third world nation. And a whole bunch of our people are living in situations that look like they're third world countries. I will say we have had some very nice donations from people and churches, and we could not do without those donations. We're truly grateful for Hopewell United Methodist, the one little bitty church. Since we started, $50 every month. That we can count on. That we know is coming in. That means so much. Pathfinders and Lake Oconee Church gave us a big triple digit check once or twice. I think Pathfinders did it twice. And First United Methodist gave us a check, 2 checks this year. So that's really good. And Hope Lutheran has helped with financial donations. They really have been interested in the shelter. We tried to start a shelter, and then the pandemic hit and I got cancer, and the person that was going to do it had to leave town. And so it hasn't been picked up yet, but we haven't forgotten it. There have been 4 very energetic Presbyterians who have been helping me, Ruby Wirtz and Donna Gautier. And Joel Burns has started from the very beginning. He gives us pro bono work, helped us get incorporated, answers questions every day about clients that come in. Joe, what are we going to do about this? And he tells me who I got to go to and what do we have to do. We also appreciate the donations we get from Sacred Heart's annual fundraiser. That gives us a lot of things that we can help. We've got storage. We've got 4 storage facilities we have to pay for. And we've got one that is free. That's by the wonderful Community Baptist Church. They opened their doors and said, bring your stuff in here. And we had to move most of it out because of the fire marshal, but they still have some that we cannot move out because we don't have enough room to get enough money to get another storage facility. The most valuable gift of all we received this year was from Hardwick Baptist Church, John's church. John was responsible for this, I think. They gave us a place. They gave us a little cottage. And it needs a lot of work. It might be useful for us for a while, depending on how many clients we have at one time. We usually don't have more than about 10 at one time. And that we could fit in there, but it needs a lot of work. Needs a lot of money for a renovation. And at this point, we have just chosen to set that all aside and not even worry about our corporate needs. We are trying to help the needs of the individual people. Every single thing we take in, we give to the people. We don't have any mailing, copying. We do all of that ourselves. We give out exactly what we take in. And we just think like we can't do this until after the human needs are met. We just have to, I get in my car and John gets in his car. We go do what we have to do. And that's it. I can't personally thank John Cooper enough. He told me he was not a finance man. I said, John, I got to have a treasurer. He said, I don't want to do finance. And I talked him into it, and he is great. I'm going to tell you, both of us are growing old. I'm going to be 77 next month, February 12th, Abraham Lincoln's birthday. And he's older than that. I'm going to tell you, what I miss, he gets, and what he misses, I get. So we're buddies in this from the very beginning. Neither of us could do without the other one. We also owe a huge debt of gratitude to our angel of mercy, who is Larry Houston at Antebellum's Attic. He's given us lots. He always lets me borrow the truck. I get in the truck, I go get the donations, I take them to somebody using Larry's truck. It's always, and he gives us a lot of stuff that he knows he can't sell in the store, and that we have to give to our clients. And I'm really blessed by 2 incredibly strong and loving young people who started working with us when they were in high school. That's Elliot Callender and Matt Mahan. They are now freshman roommates in music therapy at Georgia College. Busy, 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 busy. But they are 2 faith-filled people and faithful, and they continue to move donations and everything. But the one that did the most is my little grandson. He's an 8th grader at GMC. That boy has loaded more linens and more stuff moving from when we've had to move stuff. And Matthew always says, just let me know what you need, Lizzie. Just let me know what you need. That's about what my Matt does. So I don't know what I do without those little boys, but they have given a lot, and so have the Presbyterian women. They came out there, and Donna and Ruby and I, we had a table as long as these 3 right here. We had 2 tables filled with all these linens. We put them in bags, flat sheet, fitted sheet, 2 pillowcases, and something like a blanket or comforter, and then had to label it, what boy, girl, what size it was. We did that for many hot hours in an air-conditioned place at at Community Baptist. But we always need more volunteers. Now, I've given you a list from 2014, which is still kind of valid. But I've also given you a list of things that we need now to fulfill our vision. To move on in the future, we have to have those things done. Everybody's got a copy of that at your table. And at this point, I'll tell you, I also gave you the fire checklist, because when people come in with fires, they don't know what to do. And they'll go out and take the money that they get from the Red Cross for staying in a motel for 2 nights and buy clothes with it or buy toothbrushes with it. And so I sat down and I wrote this check sheet, which I have delivered to all the fire departments, and they don't have them on their trucks. They have them in a stack in the office. They don't use them. I'm giving them to you. If you know anybody that can use these, or if you can take them to a fire department and say, cut it in half, cut it in half so you have to use these things. I just had a fire victim this week, and she didn't know what to do. She'd never seen the fire card. I did that years ago. I wish they'd use it. I'm just giving it to you in case you can read it. Okay, so we need your help, even if you only have a few hours. And in closing, I will say this: may we all pledge to work toward God's goal of loving and serving Him with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, love our neighbors as ourselves, and really to bring God's kingdom here on earth. Be His heart, hands, feet, etc., and share of the bounteous gifts that we have. All that we have is from God. So when they say, try to thank me, I said, don't thank me. This is not my stuff. This is God's stuff. Thank God. Get into a church where you have some support and where you can learn that God loves you. You're His child. He thinks of you more than anything in the world. He wants you to talk to Him and love Him. And thank you for inviting me to come. And it really means a lot. And these people are facing problems that are just extremely difficult. They have more stressors than you can imagine. So I would also like to say that if we could partner with you, I believe that we could make Milledgeville, Baldwin County, God's kingdom. And it could be a banner that we could put up somewhere about how you treat your neighbor and where we go from here. So that's it. I thank you for letting me come. And I hope that someday we'll all have a way to get beyond what the stressors that they were facing in 1865, because I still think we have those same stressors today. Thank you. If anybody wants to be on our board, I'll send you I'll send you. You can go back up there. Oh, okay. I'll send you to your email. There's a form at each table when you can fill out your name and address. I'll send you the whole bylaws, and you can pick anything you want on the bylaws and do that little particular thing. I got it. So you can only have to do a little bit of what we've been doing. Okay.
Does anybody have questions? Always. About the work she does. All right, Louise, it's my pleasure on the behalf of the Rotary Club of Milledgeville to present you with a check donation to help you.
John.
To help you with the important work you do. Come on up.
Thank you so much. John's get some money.
Yeah. And Tamara's going to take our picture.
Oh, thank you very much.
Are you ready? We're going to Rotary.
Rotary.
Okay.
Cool. Good. All right. Okay.
All right.
Right.
One more thing, I think you haven't heard, Mary Copeland is working on housing. That's gonna be her next big initiative. She's going at it with everything she has, so support Mary Copeland, because that is a major issue. Thank you.
Jenna,
Yes, ma'am.
intersect one
Sure,
thing.
please.
We have so many like new Rotary members. A lot of you may not know that John is actually an honorary member of Rotary, very active for many, many, many years. So John, we're honored to have you come back.
Yes, he was a past president and he's a Paul Harris Fellow, I believe, correct? Yes, so thank you very much and come back again. Don't be a stranger. Cool. All right. Let's see. Katie, thank you for coming. Good to see you again. And don't forget the bake sale on March 11th. If you're interested in baking something to help the Interact Club, talk to Jan. Don't forget to pick up your t-shirts before you leave. And if you can make it to the check presentation tomorrow at noon at the police department. All right, nothing is more important for the public welfare than to form and train our youth in wisdom and virtue. Benjamin Franklin. Go have a great day.